And we are back. This is still the breakfast show on TSL Nigeria TV. Now, the word ozone means smelly in the Greek because the gas is said to have a strong odor. Ozone depletion and the ozone hole has raised the worldwide concern over increased risks and negative events. Layer is the layer that prevents the harmful UV in the atmosphere. In Brazil, the world attention has been turned to how we can preserve Mother Nature. This morning, I and the ladies, we're going to be discussing how we can preserve nature. Ladies?
I feel like saying gentlemen.
And now I know that ever since we've been like younger, growing up, we've been hearing the word ozone layers, we've been hearing the word deforestation, and how to preserve Mother Nature, the greenhouse effect and all of that. We're not scientists, so we just keep it as simple as it can be. When you hear the word ozone layer, what comes to your mind?
I think about the atmosphere, basically. You know when we did, was it biology or chemistry? Either way, they taught us about the different layers of the atmosphere, the hemisphere, and all this stuff. Learning about all those beautiful things that is protecting us from the sun. You know, it's protecting us from this
ultraviolet rays, you know, coming straight to us.
So. Do you feel like here in Africa we don't take this thing seriously? We don't take our lives, our skin, it's like it's a foreign thing. So when you talk about it in Africa, everybody feels like it not be our skin black, our skin is strong, we can handle it and all of that. But don't you feel like it's a worldwide problem and Africans need to pay attention to this?
It's clearly a worldwide problem. I think a major problem that Africans are facing is lack of information and unwillingness to learn. There is you lacking information, and then
because it's not affecting you presently, you're not paying attention to it because it's not in your home, in your house. When you step out of your house, something odd is not happening. People don't pay attention to it. So because of the lack of knowledge that they have, we are not paying attention. Strong or it has so much effect as it is here in Africa, because we still have some things in Africa. We still have some of our natural resources here happening. And
the reasons why Africans are not really paying, you guys already said, in terms of knowledge and in terms of willingness to know what is really going on. It's first things first, our skin is black. We have lots of melanin that is being produced that helps us fight the UV rays that come into our skin. Unlike the whites, when they are exposed to the sun, they have to use lots of sunscreen, you know, to prevent UV rays. But let's come to think about it. 32 years and healing. Do you think has been made so
importing waste? Like there's so recycling that they started importing waste from other countries because they don't have waste. The production of waste per household is not more than 1% since 2011. To the point that they have to now import waste from countries like the UK, as big as the UK. Sweden imports waste for them. What do? They use the waste, they burn it, and they formed a national heating system for the country. So the heat that goes to your house is coming from the waste that is being burnt. And then they put very high taxation on fossil fuels. If you decide to use fossil fuels to power your house and power your cars and stuff like that, it's going to be too expensive for you. You have to use renewable energy. So these are very conscious efforts that governments are putting into place. I saw a video one time, it was an Asian country that they pay you to drop bottles.
Even in Germany.
Like you go there, I think maybe it was
Germany.
You drop the bottle and the amount you drop, they pay you for it. These are conscious efforts to build the consciousness of recycling in people. Do you understand? So this government needs to. It's not whether I feel. I don't feel. They have to. They don't have to.
Because our planet.
And then also, I also say now another thing is they first of all have to be knowledgeable in that angle. Like it's something they need to see before they can actually say, oh, let's do something about it. Because if you're talking about a government who doesn't yet pay attention to what is ozone layer when they're trying to, you know, fix this and fix that, you know, they first need to be aware and be conscious that these things are actually there. And so once they become aware and are conscious of it, then we can, because it's a necessity.
Conscious things that you said. I saw a video from a radio station in Lagos. I'll try not to mention the name. It was the on-air personality that posted it. Very wonderful girl, Sandra. Now she was speaking to somebody in government in Lagos State, and they were speaking on Sanwo-Olu's first 100 days in office. And then she spoke about the fact that, you know, the panel the cabinet had not been reinstated, and the person made mention of the fact that xenophobia is happening in South Africa because they rush people in cabinets.
Oh, okay.
So these are the people that are leading the country.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. So we have to wait
if
for...
we're still battling with that. I mean, you hear people say that this government is doing well. Oh, what are their achievements? You hear they pay salaries. You're supposed to pay salaries. People are working.
Regular things
But
are
we have
supposed
to
to
help
happen.
them say, wow, this man just came. He just paid salary as month end. Before Uncle.
You're supposed to pay
People are
salaries.
working.
Yeah.
So I feel like what Drew said is, they don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, we're in trouble.
Oh. Okay.
So really, I feel that consciousness, because our government is paying attention to things that are not totally different. Now, when you bring certain things up at the international levels, we are not yet there. And we need to see that these things will happen. Because when these things come suddenly, it's like a shock. Where they come from, like, they didn't know that there's such a thing like ozone layer depletion. Although I know schools are trying to talk about the whole global warming and the ozone layer depletion creating effect. But I think after some time, after you leave secondary school, you really don't hear anything about it, except you do research about it yourself. And most of our children who are also going to school are going to school to make sure they pass and bring a good result home.
Wow. All right. So, guys, where do we go from here? Where do we... First is when we identify the problem. There is lack of knowledge. People are ignorant of the fact that the ozone layer is depleting. Probably one day we could just wake up one morning and all the beautiful things in the sky, they've been gone. And everybody's skin starts,
it cannot happen.
Okay.
No,
Where do we go from here? What do we need to start doing? Because this is a problem, like you
I
said.
think, first of all, awareness has to be created. The thing is that people are aware that this thing is happening, but they don't know what it is. My friend posted a video. He did it. My friend is a photographer.
Okay.
So he did a shoot by the beach a few months ago at a shed. And then he posted a video as of last month or so. The water at the beach had flown so much that it has gotten to the shed. When he took the picture this year, the water hadn't gotten that close. So it's little things like this. It's happening, and people are seeing it, but they don't know enough to be worried about it. I remember one time when I was in school, we had this thing called first semester sun. I think it was sometime around.
Very hot. Yeah.
The thing is that
you'll be black.
It wasn't there when I was 100 level. It was from 200 level I started having first semester sun. So clearly, I noticed that the sun got hotter. So these things are happening. I just think we need to get to a place where people actually know what it is that is happening because they have already noticed it.
Yeah. And then I think the awareness thing is very important, because I think there was a time where when we had Harmattan, it was really cold, and now you just notice that through the years we don't have Harmattan as strong, as windy as it used to be. We now have hotter days. I think there was a time where it was like even if you take your bath immediately, you need to bathe again. I started putting ice in my water because the weather was just extremely hot. These are things. these are things that are happening that we are not paying attention to. So I feel that if we begin to create awareness in the smallest of ways, show children video, let them become aware, let them know that okay, these things are happening. Because as much as we are aware, we need to also create awareness. We create awareness for our generation. We need to create awareness for the children. Generations keep coming forth, so they can keep pushing it forward. They can have conversations about it in their groups. And then, for our government, something really needs to be done, because after all that's said and done, certain policies, certain individuals cannot make certain policies if the government does not approve.
And something that just really came to my mind just now, even for those of us that are aware of these things, there isn't even much that we can do. For example, now we know that plastics are bad. We know that plastic bags, it takes millions of years for a plastic bag to be broken down and to go into earth. But have you ever gone to a supermarket and they give you a paper bag? Have you even seen
plastic bags?
No, a paper bag. In some countries, they don't use.
I understand paper bags.
I've never been to a supermarket, at least in my city, and when I was done, they gave me a paper bag. It's still a plastic bag.
It's still a plastic bag.
You even want to plant a tree in your compound, your neighbor will not come. You say snake they gather for this thing. So if you just plant this thing now, you will carry snake on the compound.
Exactly.
When you have this information, it's hard for you to implement it in your society.
So it's like we just need to create an environment where even if the policies are made, they need to be implemented. Now let's talk about deforestation. The recent Amazon fire that happened, you know, and you mentioned that you know the Amazon fire produces 20% of the world, the entire oxygen of the world. And while I was doing my research, you know, there have been a lot of things that the president in Brazil is supporting deforestation, and you know, people should be able to burn the forest and all of that. Do you feel that the Amazon fire is like the Amazon forest rather is like our only hope? Because when you mentioned the 20% of the entire oxygen, my heart went out, because it's the waste that come out of trees. You know, we inhale oxygen, the trees they exhale. You know, they exhale oxygen, we inhale it. And so, do you feel that we need to do so much to have afforestation in the world?
I don't even know where to start. I saw something online that it was funny when the person said it, but it rang in my head. The guy says that people are so afraid that the earth is going to die and then we won't have a place to stay. And then he said the earth is not going to die. The earth is going to kill what is killing it. So the worse the planet comes, it's not bad for the planet. It's bad for us because we don't have a place to stay. The hotter the sun is, it's hard for us to exist. The cooler it is in the Arctic Circle, the more problem for us. We have tsunamis every other day. The ice in the Arctic Circle is melting. So the more there is floods, the more there is some people like Kenya that are under the equator. I can't even imagine what is happening in places like that. So the more we continue to pretend or ignore or destroy the earth further, it's not the earth that is going to suffer. It is us, because we are not going to have a place to stay. Do you know, one day it hit me? Let me gist you guys. Did you guys know that Moana is about saving the planet? Think about it.
Yeah, that
until
movie.
They went to heal Tafiti. There was no food, there was no water to drink, and as soon as Tafiti, who was Mother Nature, was fixed, every other place was good. So I know people are pushing information to children. There was this song we had in either Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, reduce, reuse, recycle. So you know, it's
out there, yeah.
I just want us to accept it. I'm emotional.
I feel that afforestation should be encouraged. You know, more trees should be planted. Less things that would affect the depletion of the ozone layer should not be used anymore. A lot should be reduced. You know, I was researching and I said we should use more natural products. We spend more time using more natural products, spend more time, you know, like she said, less paper, less plastic bags, more paper bags. It will help, you know, make the place better. And no, I think it's even easier for us in Africa to keep growing more trees. You know, you're talking about your neighbor when you're planting trees, and then she's out here bringing his neighbor. We have more trees here, and we have the opportunity to keep, you know, replenishing.
Yeah, that's what we have.
Exactly, replenishing what we have. So we need to be more conscious of that. That's why the awareness thing, I think, is really important. You know, we need to have people and making policies that, you know, can help, because, you know, the whole ignorance thing.
And finally, population control. You know, because I'm thinking from the point of view of people that do deforestation, they usually want to build houses.
Urbanization is one of the keys.
Population keeps expanding. We're seeing reports that the world might not be able to produce enough food for the kind of population. And yes, you will hear ask your neighbor at home tomorrow now, do you want to create houses for the population that is bursting. So population control is also in there.
Oh wow. All right, guys, I think this is the point where if we continue, we're just going to open our school of awareness on the breakfast show this morning. But this is the point where we have to come to the end of today's episode. Like you've heard it from the ladies, awareness is key. Research, find out what is going on around you, because the truth is that whatever environment's impact on you, it's very key at the end of the day. And so awareness is going on, awareness keeps on going on. Find out what is happening around you concerning your environment. It is key. Reduce, learn to recycle products, use plastic, paper products, like you've heard the lady said. Avoid the things that would deplete our nature, our mother nature. And with our hands together, we can preserve Mother Earth together. My name is Lekki Moyo. We'll be here same time tomorrow for another conversation on the breakfast show. Do well to have yourself a lovely day. Good morning.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.